You know, you always hear about the man behind the curtain. And today we're going to have that curtain pulled back so we get to see that person and the person who was instrumental in some of the foundational work of Opus Finance. So we'll pull back the curtain in just a moment. This is the Swarm Unplugged podcast, where we get to know the Beessocial community and encourage others to join us. With hundreds in the community, we want to get to know all of you better. From the newbie to the expert to the project partners, we will be learning who they are and how they can best benefit from Beessocial. I'm Christopher Knight, so let's get started. You know, I am already tired from all the travels that I've witnessed over the last few days. Has nothing to do with our guest today, but has to do with our co-host. The last we were on, he was in Oregon, dropping off this beautiful Trans Am. Next I know, he's headed south down into California to pick up a almost one-of-a-kind Range Rover, put it in the same trailer he hauled his Trans Am in, and then he disappeared. But little he'd know, we had a deal with Brittany, his daughter, to install spy cams on his truck and to listen to everything that he was doing. And that has led us down a trail for us to see how he actually spends his time when he's actually fooling around. That spy cam footage I'd like to show you right now.
Good morning. Well, howdy. Hi, Henry, Chris, Rick. I'm bringing it to you live from Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. And, well, I wish you guys were here. Well, maybe not you, Chris, but Henry and Rick, yeah. And, you know, while I'm here, you know what they say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So here we go. Well, I was going to go into the high roller, but they don't take anything less than $1,000. So they're going to try and look for the penny machine. Oh, well. You know what I'm really upset about is they took my statue down and they replaced it with this joker. I was up here for the longest time, and they took me down and put him up. Really? Come on. Is that right? I'm going to write a letter. Someone's going to hear. Caesar himself is going to get to hear about this one. That's for sure. Place your bets, everyone. Place your bets. Here we go. We are at the Sports Center. I put one down for you, Chris. For you, Rick. I'm not sure if you want me to, Henry, but tell me what you want. Red or black, brother? This is where we should start doing all our live broadcasts. I'm saying, why not? So, bring the crew down. Let's do it all from Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. All right, guys, let's get this going.
Things will never be the same. Those are words of wisdom right there for sure. And I tell you what, now I will tell you, as far as the condition of our co-host, he has had maybe in the last 2.5 days, maybe 8 hours sleep in that entire time. So don't expect much from him today. However, since we found him and located him at Caesar's Palace, let's go ahead and bring him on and let him speak for himself. What do you say? Huh? Let's do that. There you go, Tony. Yeah. Okay.
Chris, hang on.
Who are you talking to? Richie right now or somebody?
This is my attorney. I'm talking about there's privacy laws. You know, you and Brittany, you guys are breaking laws right now. So, I'll get back to you. He's on right now. Okay. So, just so you know, that you know, you can't just be doing that. You got to have.
Well, but you know how much fun it was working with your daughter? My goodness, that was a blast. Okay.
There's got to be some legal action I can take here somewhere.
Well, I can't wait till you go after your daughter. Now, I would really like to see that because you know what,
Yeah.
she
You know
would
what?
really,
I'll just
she
accept
would
it.
kick your, you know what? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they are black belts, my girls. So I
Yeah.
insisted upon them getting some training.
So, you tell me, you have your mom with you, and I understand that she is the luckiest person in the world when it comes to gambling. What has she done anything at Caesar's Palace?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I know anything about any winnings or losings, but I can tell you that this woman would be the worst customer on the planet for me if I owned a casino. She'd be the last person I want to see come in the door, because not only does she get
Uh,
everything for free, she wins. She never loses. It's like, I don't even get it. I just don't understand it. She's been doing this my whole life. Hard to fathom. And I
yeah,
don't have her luck.
we do
Well,
have
maybe I
those
do.
cameras. Those cameras are still hidden and active, and so we're going to track where you go next,
All right.
and we'll let everybody know where that is
Well,
here very shortly.
May, I got to tell you, win-win is a good thing if you play. I don't intend on playing. I leave that to my mother. She can win. If I play, it's not a good thing, May, but I'm going to try and win-win, but we'll see. I'm winning by not putting anything in. That's how I'm winning.
Yeah,
So
you're winning by not
thank
spending your money. That's what you.
yeah, right,
You're winning by
exactly.
not spending anything. I know
Yeah,
what you're winning at.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're also winners today because we have a guest that is. He's also a winner, a big winner when it comes to what he does, not only in business, but and I said behind the curtains. I really meant that. I don't know. There may not be, but just a few people who actually know who Henry is. Now, Henry just left our green room, so we'll talk about him just for a moment here. Who exactly is Henry Cooper?
You, Henry is uh, a very, very connected person. He has done an awful lot in the background. And, it's funny because I believe that Henry was actually going to take kind of, he could have played many different roles with doing many different things. And I think, and don't hold me to this, but I believe that what he ended up doing was more of the backroom stuff rather than trying to be in the front, be in the face and like what Ray and
Mm.
some of what Vince does. But he pretty much has a lot of different things. He's been in the crypto space a long time. He understands it extremely well. And those of you that don't know Henry, he's very articulate. He's got great knowledge and great wisdom, and he will tell you, and anything that he tells you, the very first thing he'll say is, "This is not financial advice," because So we kind of adopted that even more so than what anybody normally would, thanks to Henry. So we've got Henry to thank for that. It's like, hey, be careful
Right.
because
I,
we don't want to
All
cross that
well,
line.
right now, Henry is appears to be out playing in the sunshine. So let's bring Henry on. Let him speak for himself here.
All
Now,
right.
defend himself. What do you think? Defend
Well,
himself. Yeah. Henry, hello and welcome to the Swarm Unplugged.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, good. You can see that we don't take things too seriously, but we are serious about you. I wouldn't,
Oh, don't take me too seriously.
oh, yeah, but the first time I saw you and learned about you was on, and I'm serious, and I've been around a little while, right? But I saw you on Uncle V's podcast, and I said, "Who is this guy?" And then the more I heard him talk, the more I heard you talk, the more I realized, wait a minute, this is somebody I have to get to know. So here we are today. So I can get to know you, and everybody else can get to know you better. How'd you get into this game anyway, Henry?
Oh, so which which game are we talking about?
Well, I'm sure not talking about the family game. We'll talk about that later. But how about the
Right?
business game?
Oh man, the business game. That's a long story. The long story short is I met a friend who introduced me to another friend that let me know that we're good as far as the way we exchange value and the way that we have the ability or autonomy to exchange value. And that's going to change slowly but surely over the next decade or so. Because of that information, I said, let me learn a little bit about this. And I had a lot of fun along the way. We're still having fun. Okay? We're seeing things slowly change behind the scenes.
Okay. Tony, kick on down the road. Kick him down the roads when you first met him. What happened then?
I think Henry and I share the same beliefs as a lot of us do in this group. And so we hit it off really well just because of that. And then, Henry also has, most people don't know, but he's got 37 children. He only claims a few of them. And he's actually right now, as he always is, because he's got so many of them, he has to have his eyes everywhere. So what he does is he stands back about a half mile from where they are, and he's panning constantly because he doesn't know where they are, but he's got them tagged. I think that he's got a few of them on a shot collar and a few of them on beepers because his eyes can't be everywhere. But
Right.
that's what he's doing. He's constantly scanning. He's got that father, pinpoint accuracy thing.
You're not helping me out here. I want to dig into what he does for Opus Finance. That's what exactly do you do? What you start out doing? I should back up even further than that.
Uh-huh.
Richie must have called you, right? Did Richie call you, or did somebody else call you?
Mark.
Yeah. Good longtime friend of Richie's, who is Mark. He and I, we've been friends for a while. He's a great guy. And just as life has it, we kept hanging out together and having good food together, and one thing led to another, and here we are, still forging ahead and dreaming together.
Good point.
That was a long time ago that you started that happening. But you've been in the crypto field for a long time.
Yeah, I've been in crypto for years. More years than we've been doing this, and it's been fun. I tell you, this industry changes so rapidly. Every 6 weeks you see big changes in this whole industry.
Well, Henry, what I'm looking for is when they called you and told you about this, what did you volunteer for? Exactly.
I exactly volunteered to help dream together. And now this may get a little existential here, but this is just how life works, right? If you have a very firm and aggressive desire towards a thing, which is to see this space grow and change, to be able to help the masses, you forge forward in that direction. You find that things kind of work themselves out. So a lot of what I do, as vague as it may sound, precise as it is I kind of dream for what would be good for this space to have, be good for us, the Bee social community to have. What projects would be great for the Bee social community to forge forward with, so the industry can take advantage of that and people's lives could be changed. Well, that's what I've been doing, and as a result of that, I mean, thank God, very specifically, thank God, we're seeing change. We're seeing some neat projects come forward, and it's a fun thing. It's a very, very fun thing to be a part of. I got cut. I just realized that. Oh, and look at this. This is one of my crew right here.
How many are in your crew, Henry?
The total in my crew is 8.
8. Okay. All right. So,
High five. Oh, yeah. Just pushed his wound and now it's better, and he's on.
uh, what what a fantastic group you must have, for goodness sakes. Now,
Oh,
what
it's
do
great. It's
you,
great.
you say you guys get together and dream? What it if you had your ultimate dream about what's going on right now within this project? What would that ultimate dream be?
Wow. Ultimate dream would see the adoption of decentralized finance and people from the most advantaged to the least advantaged planet being able to take advantage of democratized democratized means of exchanging value. That's what I'd like to see.
Okay, and I understand as part of the things that you did from the beginning, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, or uh, don't answer if you don't want to, but I understand too that you've been very responsible in bringing in some of the basic funding that was needed to pull this off.
Oh no, I'm just a dreamer. If things happen from dreaming, that's really great. uh, I just like to have fun and say, hey, who could be a part of this or who could be a part of that, and when you do that, God brings.
I think he's got
Okay,
internet connection
yeah,
problems. I'm
we
not
we've
sure.
got it, but uh, Tony, what we're hearing here is a man of real character, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. He's very modest, and I think one of the questions would be good if when we get him back on is exactly where he was going, how he pivoted and went in a different direction, and where his thought process is on
Right.
M2 and our space and Opus and everything else. Because like what Henry said, he's actually been around the crypto space for an awful long time, and he's very, very well connected in that space with many people that have been around a long time. So he's got a lot of stuff that we could only dream of having some of those connections and some of that understanding. But do I
So,
have a lot of
so
background? Go
a
ahead.
lot of strong connections that have helped out to the community uh, to be where it is today. Is that right?
I think that every single day, um, Henry is working on something to do with one aspect of what we're trying to do as a group. He's just not very vocal, and I think he can be, and when he does, it's very valuable because again, he understands the space so well, and he has a lot to do in the background. Um, he's kind of taken that position, I believe, because he felt he could do more being in the background and letting somebody else up front. But he could certainly take the front rein. There's no question. Henry's got the
Yeah.
ability to be up front and talk and do it in a really eloquent way and be a great representative and a great ambassador because he is for sure.
Well, he's got certainly a great personality, but what a great family man! My goodness gracious, I think there's more to him on the family side than we realize. And I think maybe we have a little inside view of that. Which would you think we need to take a look at that?
I think we will. Let me tell you something before we do that, just real quick. When I first met Henry, it was on video calls, Skype calls, and whatever. And he would always be picking up his one of his kids, and his kids would be on his shoulders with his headset on as he's walking along, and I'd say hi to his kids and everything. So I got used to him. I got used to children that way. So it was really interesting that I got to know Henry with his kids at the same time. It was a good thing. But um, you know, uh, we're very blessed, all of us in this space, and I I every day I understand that when we have an opportunity to have these people like Henry and like Ray and of course Mark and all these other guys, it's really good that we take the time to do what we do just to get to know them, because then you understand the person behind what they're doing. It's really important.
Well, these are people who really are the basics of where we are today, and they're all still here. Not all, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
The true people are still around, and I want everybody to meet them. That's I think it's very, very important for everybody to
Yeah,
meet
right.
them.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Now, I know that I just got a call from Henry. He says he'll be back on just a minute. His phone overheated. So in the meantime, shall we show a little bit more about Henry?
Yes, find out. I'd like to know a little bit more about him. If there's something you got to share, please go ahead and do it.
Okay. Well, I see Henry just joined us again, but so while he's just joined us and can see it, let's do it. Roll that footage, my friend Rick. And there you go. Welcome back, Henry. Come on back on here and join us and chat with us a minute.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, here you find it. You look really great on that video. Are you that good at sports, really?
Look, I just try to keep up with my children. That's all I try to do.
That's a sport in itself.
Oh my goodness. It really is, because this past summer my two oldest said to me, they said, "Dad, hey, let's go out and see if we can all run a sub 6 minute mile." I said, "All right, I'll time you guys and you run ahead of me and I'll try and keep up." So roughly 5 minutes and 54 seconds into it, they finished their mile. I mean, they were gassed and I was behind them by like a good 10 or so seconds. So I mean, I cannot keep up with my kids. They're just way ahead, man. And my youngest is now 6 years old. So my goal is to be able to at least stay within 10 seconds of him on the mile when he's like 14, 15 years old. So I have about 8 to 10 years of hard training that I have to maintain, just to be up to par in our world of fatherhood.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, I got to tell you.
Well, Henry, I still feel like I'm missing something here about you. All right. And about you and about Opus and about all the things, and I know you're talking about the dreams and the vision and so forth, but what do you want to do? What can you do right now to even push it further ahead? What is it you think you can do right now?
Really, as far as the adoption of the space itself, or as far as Beessocial as a community?
Adoption of the space. Let's go there.
Yeah. Okay. So adoption of the space as a whole. And again, everything we do is is having fun and dreaming, right? So all the information that I'll ever give, all of the projections or forecasts that I would ever give, it's really all just fun and entertainment and dreaming, right? So no one can really peg a financial forecast on anything that I would ever say, because we're all just having fun and dreaming. Um, Having said that, which encompasses everything that ever comes out of my mouth, the best thing that I could do right now is to make it clear on this show that we're not at adoption yet at all. We're like a good year and a half away from adoption, meaning where a decent percentage of our general society, and I mean as a whole, I'm talking about the globe, is comfortable with the idea of using uh, decentralized finance, using crypto in the way that we understand it to exchange value. We're at minimum a year and a half away from that place where we can say, yeah, now we are getting into adoption. Because a lot of people in our spaces, a lot of people in our society that we encounter, and I'm really saying the Western society, we think, oh my God, we're here in adoption. Oh my goodness, look at all these people have wallets on Coinbase, or they're using Robinhood, or they've got Ethereum wallets or Metamask wallets. Oh my goodness, we're at adoption. No, we're not. We are nowhere near adoption. Just like I am nowhere near being an empty nester. I'm nowhere near having an empty nest.
Yeah,
There's a lot
I
of,
know that's true. Go ahead.
yeah, there's a lot of growing, right? There's a lot of growing and changing that has to happen for me to be an empty nester, and that's very, very similar to what I see with this whole cryptocurrency space. We're way out, man. It's still in its diapers. We're still changing its diapers, and it's not eating solid food yet, guys. So I think it's really important for people to understand that, so that they can get involved and know that as they get involved right now and they learn the basics of this space and how it operates, they're actually still on the front end of this curve. We're early adopters still. We're pioneers. And people should know that. So right now, for this conversation, I think that's the most important things that your viewers should understand. Those things that I said about this space. They're not late to the game. They're still early.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's for entertainment purposes only.
Of course. Yeah, you're not a financial advisor, nor are you an accountant or a CPA. Okay, I got you. All right.
Hey, I don't even deal with finances now that you bring that up. And I really don't make any money in this space. So we're all just dreaming and having fun.
Well, then that you certainly shot an opening for me right there. What do you do in real life, Henry?
I would say if you were to categorize me and give me a title, I would say a very concise title for me would be a God-fearing husband of one and father of six. And what I do is I direct my family as best as I know possible so that they complete their assignments while they're on this earth, so that in turn they can do the same thing. That is the most accurate title you could give. Granted, having said that, there are things that I do to make that happen. Mm-hmm. And that's a long story, but we don't have enough time for that.
Well, we've got time. We've got a minute or two to tell us how you actually feed those mouths that you have that running around that you're bringing to maturity.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hey, one of the ways I'm feeding their mouths is as a husband serving my wife in her development and growth. So my wife just graduated law school, and this is really funny because after having 6 kids, mind you, we were done 3 times. So number 4 we said we're done. Number 5 we said we're done. Number 6 we said we're done. So after the 3rd time being done, she got a little bit bored, and she says, "Hey, honey, I want to do something. You know, I feel I have skills I want to use." So as a husband, you know, maintaining the role of the husband and the requirements thereof, I said, "Sure, let me serve you in that. What would you like to do? The world is yours. Sky's the limit. What do you want to do?" I'm thinking piano lessons, Zumba, you know, maybe knitting, maybe, I don't know, more days at the spa, massages. No, she says she wants to go to law school. Have at it. Have at it, baby. So yeah, she just finished that up, and now she is vigorously studying for the bar exam. She's done really great. She's done really great, and that's a huge achievement. That is a huge achievement for me, my family, and especially for her. So as far as providing for them and putting food on the table, really serving their skills, helping them to develop their skills, is as a husband the primary way that I can do that. Granted, I do projects. I do I do know how to build things. I do know how to track projects and, you know, play with fiat currency so that people can use it to complete tasks. But that's kind of like peripheral. You know, the main thing is finding out what their assignments are and bringing those to pass. And I tell you guys, when you do that, you'll be surprised what comes to you so that you can make that happen. It goes back to what we started the conversation with. When you dream for something, if it's really focused and in the right direction, it will actually manifest itself to you. And that's a lot of what we're seeing in this blockchain space. I mean, this we're talking right now actually because somebody who is unnamed, who uses the name Satoshi, dreamt of an idea, right? And because he dreamt of it, it manifested, and that snowballed into what we now have as this whole asset class. And here we are several years later, doing a show about something that's really still in its infancy stage. But it all started with a dream. And it's pretty phenomenal to see how that works, guys. Pretty phenomenal.
Well, just certainly a question that I ask often just for the fun of it, and that is M2 has been a big part of the recent development of
Yeah,
Beessocial, right? Uh, and
absolutely.
and when you first saw that coming and started developing it, how did you feel about it?
I felt it has potential to change the playing field for the most distressed on this planet. If you know the history of Bitcoin, you'll know that when Bitcoin started out, the goal was to give those in the most distressed areas more of a level playing field to exchange value, and they got pushed out of the way. Really, big boys came in, started mining it, and pushed out the small miners. And you know how that story went now. Well, with M2, there's the ability to prevent that from happening so that the end users, whoever they may be, I mean, M2 will find those end users, and those end users will be able to use it as an exchange of value and acquire it through mining it directly on their mobile device. I mean, the potential of that is staggering, really, how it can help to change different areas of the world that are very distressed, that don't have access to a means to exchange value for any service or good that they do. That's just non-existent in so many parts of this world. And M2 creates the possibility for that to happen, the possibility for it. And again, that's a dream, right? And it could happen, and it will happen through people just like you and me, and my buddy right here, Jace. Say hi.
Hello.
This is one of my friends who I'm also taking care of and watching.
And this way you know it's time to go.
Oh yeah? All right, give us 5-10 minutes, buddy. All right, I'll be over there. And this is how it works. Is Jace is a great kid. He is as people would classify him, autistic. He's on a spectrum, but let me tell you, that kid is smarter than me. He is one sharp kid, and he figures things out a lot quicker than I do. But him being one of the kids I get a chance to hang out with and take care of, his family, guys like you, me, and other families can take advantage of the tool we call M2 to create value and to start to say, hey, I can do X, Y, Z, and I can do it well. I can ascribe a value to that thing that I do, and let's exchange it via M2. And you know what? There's no central organization that could stop us. There's no CB that could say, no, you don't qualify. There's no CB that could say, oh, you're only allowed to deposit X amount and withdraw X amount, or give X amount to somebody. That doesn't exist here, because no one owns it really, but everybody owns it. So that's how I felt initially about M2, and I got to tell you, M2 has the potential to really change a lot of lives and to help people around the world to gain value and really get a leg up, so to speak, from the oppression that we see through the standard central financial system that we're pretty much subject to.
Right.
But again, that's just my point of view. That's my entertaining dream, and I think it's going to happen, guys.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, Tony. What say you, Tony? Go ahead.
So, in your opinion, what would you? I mean, obviously, we all know that M2 is got great value, but we know that. So, how do you think we can get M2 exposed more so other people can obviously understand the value of what M2 has? What would you think we could do that in order to help? What would you do, or what would you give somebody advice to do? Because I think it's our job, as being involved. It's not to keep it to ourselves, but to have other people. So how would you do that in your experience? What do you suggest?
Yeah, it's really one person at a time. It's amazing how something can go viral so quickly in our day and age, right? If you share your vision and dream with your community, and that community understands your vision and dream, and they see what M2 can do to help other lives, because it's really not about M2 itself per se. It's really about the people that can use it to better their lives, right? That's really what it's about. So I would say for those people who are interested, that they should get in, become a part of the community, learn what it can do, learn how it can change lives, acquire some for yourself, and then help others to learn how to do the same and use it. give other people the long-term vision so they can see what we're trying to do to affect the economy system around the world. You know, every village, every tribe, every society has their means of economy, whether it's bartering, you know, trading shells, or whatever means that they use. M2 can become a tool to help to do that quicker and to help to do that more efficiently. So that's what I would tell them, and that's how I would teach them.
Well, let me ask you a different way then. So if you were in the park, like where you are right now, watching the kids, and someone came up to you, another father, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing, Henry? What's going on?" Or my name's, I'm Joe, and you're Henry, or whatever. And well, what do you do? What excites you? How would you introduce somebody, an everyday person, into what you do? I mean, when somebody talks to me, cryptocurrency comes up, and I tell them whatever they ask about license and everything. I always talk about
hold on one second.
Hey,
Yeah, well, tell him Daddy said that's not nice. Not nice.
he kept on messing me up. Each
to
time
you guys. I've told you, he's got like.
Alrighty.
Hey, Joshua. You.
Oh,
You little kid.
it's great. It's great. Hold on, bud. So I would find out what that person's passionate about, really, what that person likes, what that person wants to do, really. What interests that person first, and then see how their interest might be able to line up with what we're doing, because we're a community, right? And the community that we have is so diverse that when you find out those interests, you can then pull those interests into the community, and then they can find other people that jive with them and that have similar interests, and then from there, they kind of build like a sub community within the community, and from there, they can feed off of each other to support one another in the movement of what we're doing in the crypto space through M2 and Beessocial. So that's the way I would do it. You know, I wouldn't so much just say to someone, "Hey, here's this great cryptocurrency type of tool that you can use. Are you interested?" It's not about that. It's really about the person and what their interests are. Now, I would find out more about that individual, what they like, what they want to do, and then see how that could be better propagated, better enhanced through using M2 and becoming part of the Beessocial community.
So you're saying basically you would listen, you would observe, and then you'd see if there's something that would allow that person to let M2 be a great tool or an asset for them, and then give them a better understanding of it. Is that
Yeah, that's a really concise way to say it. I'd really find out what they're interested in first, and then see how there's a fit, because it's amazing. I mean, our community is just awesome. Every time I get a chance to listen to the calls and see the diversity of talent that's brought together to push adoption forward, it's so cool because it's organic. You know, it's the purest form of pushing an idea or a concept. That's how you really do it, and it's great to see. And I mean, Tony, it's just what you said. You know, we've all listened to each other and brought each other in to where now we're one group. We're like one family, one society that's pushing adoption, and we're all different, and we all have different talents, and I love it, man. I love being able to sit back and watch it happen, really, you know, and be a cheerleader on the sides. I don't have as great pom poms as you do, Tony or Mark. I I got to go get better pom poms to to cheer these guys on. But yeah, man, that's it. That's it, 100%.
We've lost Chris.
Hey, wait, you see his cheerleader skirt. It's really, really cute. But along with the pom poms. You know, as much as I hate to say this, we're coming to the end of this particular episode of the Swarm Unplugged.
Yeah, 10
And
minutes.
I'd like to just ask, is there just anything else you'd like to say to the folks who are listening now live and the folks that will be listening well into the future? Anything you'd like to say at all that you haven't already said?
Well, as far as the future, you know what will be neat is when people look back at this time, 2021, and see how young this whole space of crypto and DeFi really is at this point in time. And for those that are listening right now, to know that you're not late to the game. You're really not. Plug in, learn what's going on, learn what's happening, and see how you can be part of the future. You can be part of this adoption that is going to take place. It's going to be neat. I really believe that DeFi is going to crush CeFi. Decentralized finance is going to crush centralized finance. I really believe that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. I'm enjoying the ride. The ride, and so should everyone else. Get plugged in and enjoy it.
On behalf of Tony and myself and Rick Scherer, our technical director, we truly appreciate your spending your time, even in the park, with us today. It's been very, very special, and I know we're going to talk more in the future. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I would love to do this more in the future. Keep dreaming, and to those that are listening, find your purpose assignment. Keep dreaming, and this is a great tool to help enhance that for the future.
Absolutely. Thank you, Henry, very, very much. Henry. We appreciate it. All right,
you got it.
You know, and Tony, you know, there's something to be said here. I tell you, what we're watching is, of course, a very, very special person who is out there in the park. I just featured him there, out there in the park, enjoying himself. And I think, for the most part, we need to look at ourselves sometimes and say, wow, what are we doing? Are we enjoying life? Are we pushing things forward? Are we doing as much as we can for others? I know we had that very special statement from Dan Harrison on a podcast recently, which was one that I think you remember, don't you, about the hand up? What was that statement?
Yeah, I wrote the statement down. I'm going to have to pull it up. You put me on
when
spot.
somebody reaches their hand up, I want to make sure my hand is there. And I think that means a whole lot right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. And thanks to Henry, thanks to Tony, and we'll go ahead and start wrapping up here, Richter, if you would, and moving forward. Thanks to all of you. So at this stage, I simply want to say we enjoy these podcasts. We do them out of literally out of love for the community and out of a spirit of sharing other people with tremendous souls and hearts, just like Henry has just shown us right there. And that's what we're about. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll be with us in the future. And that being said, always remember to subscribe, by the way, and hit the like button, and also leave us a comment. That helps a great deal in building this community. In the end, remember to listen, learn, and give. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Swarm Unplugged podcast. Be sure to hit the follow button and leave us a glowing comment. Gravitate yourself to be on the podcast so you are the next one to introduce themselves to the Beessocial community. See you on the next episode.